Just seen a 250 basis point cut, even with inflation at around 33%. So do you think policymakers might be repeating the risk of what could be premature easing here, given what we see now happening on the global picture? Of course, Fed cuts possibly to come. Walk me through the situation on the ground right now in Turkey.
Sure. Look, yesterday's rate cut was actually higher than expected. The market consensus were around 200 basis points, but then the central bank cut the rates by 250 basis points. So a couple of explanations for that. First, one thing to remember is, we have two more meetings until the end of 25. So the bank might be actually front-loading some of the cuts. So that's one way to look at it. I mean, this inflationary path is going on track, but with a much slower, which a longer path than was initially intended. So at the end of the year, we are above actually even the interim target of the central bank, which is at 24%. For inflation, but the midterm economic plan, which was announced by the government just a month ago, the end of year inflation is set at 28.5%. So by end of year, we are still looking at, keeping in mind that there are two more meetings of the central bank. We are looking at, mid to high 30s interest rates and almost 30% inflation.
What's interesting as well, though, is that real interest rates remain high despite this most recent easing. Chan, where do you see the policy rate by year end?
I think the policy rate by year end will be, mid-30s, somewhere between 35 to 40, but probably around 36, 37. That's where I'm seeing it. And the reason that is because I think the central bank and the policymakers in general are very wary about a potential demand for FX again. Right now, the composition of deposits in Turkey, putting aside gold, I think the lira has gained a lot of trust with domestic investors as well. But I think the central bank is very careful and very wary about more demand. Anything that might trigger more demand for FX. So I think the real interest rates will be there in the near future.